Okay. Good evening and welcome to Voice of the People. This evening, my guest is investigative journalist and host of Newsline, Faraz Shakutali. Faraz, months, weeks, days of controversy, and now the Panama Papers are out. What is your take on these revelations that have been made?
Well, the Panama Papers are out, but much to our surprise, we find that there are no political names on there. And there was a lot of expectation that actually there would be political names, but they're not there.
Expectations in terms of political names. Who do you think would have been involved in the crimes that you're talking about now?
Openly, the foreign minister of this country said that there was 18 billion US dollars, that's Shamir, billion US dollars had been moved out of this country, pointing the finger of blame at the Rajapaksa household. Well, the Panama Papers are out, and there is no mention of any name that ends with Rajapaksa.
However, as we saw, the company Avant-Garde, which has come under much controversy over the last few years in terms of their dealings with the Rajapaksa family, being named in the Panama Papers.
Indeed, the names surrounding Avant-Garde are the most, arguably the most potent of the names that are being published. And it is now up to the FCID and to the Commissioner of Taxes, the Inland Revenue Department, to establish whether the assets being held and referred to in the Panama Papers by Avant-Garde have actually been declared to the tax authorities in this country, including the tax files of the 4 people named in the Panama Papers as being shareholders of Avant-Garde.
So you would agree with me if I say, Faraz, that you don't have to necessarily deposit money overseas or have offshore accounts. You can do it through a third party, like Avant-Garde, for an example.
Yes, you can do that. There's the use of nominee services is widespread, but that doesn't necessarily follow that it's illegal.
Absolutely.
We must bear in mind that avoiding tax is not a crime, because it's an international pastime to try and pay as less taxes as you can. But the point is, in that way you do pay taxes. However, when you evade taxes, deliberately withholding your assets from the taxman in this country, then that's a criminal offense. Tax evasion is criminal.
For us now, this is the Panama Papers that we're talking about, but we saw another report being released by a US-based organization, a Global Integrity report, which says clearly that over 18 billion US dollars have been swindled out of the country in a 10-year time frame starting 2004 to 2013. No investigations have taken place at all.
That's
Why?
right. That is the shocking scenario that the country as a whole is faced with. If you calculate the lost tax potential, the income tax potential on that amount of money, on 19 billion US dollars, it comes to around about 6.2 billion US dollars. With 6.2 billion US dollars, you could build the Noricoli power plant, you could build all the networks, the road networks that your heart desires, and you could pay for the Hambantota port and the Matala airport, and have money left back.
You have a government which goes to Copenhagen and saying that we agree with the carbon emissions, we agree to reduce carbon emissions, and then trying to build 5 coal power plants. Absurd, isn't it?
Yes, we have a situation where our democratic legislators speak with a forked tongue.
Thank you very much, Faraz, for joining us this evening on Voice of the People, the future. Where is the country really heading? Some thought for you to take back home this evening. Take care and have a pleasant evening.